Primetime live spots. This is what happens when Tucker Carlson is no longer on Fox. I get the primetime live spot on We the People Podcast Network. Welcome to this week's episode of the Politically Correcting Podcast with me, the Jose Pio, along with my co-host Lavelle Lewis.
Gia.
Austin on the ones and twos.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this text.
Hello
from you guys. I didn't see this.
And we are your weekly dose of common sense. Let's toast to our ability to share a drink with friends, have open and honest dialogue, and always striving to walk away still being friends. Salut.
L'chaim.
I'm assuming you didn't mean to send that to me also. It was just supposed to be to Austin. That was
All the above.
super.
Dan from the streets was included in that one as well.
Yeah.
This episode is not brought to you by Penelope Bourbon, but I implore you to try them. Maybe one day they will
And
sponsor
this,
us.
Sorry, I was a little late on that one.
The Honey Smuggler Lager.
That's a Three Heads Brewery beer.
Really good.
So shout out to local there.
Absolutely.
Verse of the week. This might become the verse of our actual podcast. I think that we might actually become, I think I found it.
Oh, wow.
The verse that will actually just be the podcast verse of every week. This might be the motto that we put on our back of our t-shirts.
Do we all have to agree?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm in here too. Let's go.
2 Timothy 1 verse 7. For God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and a sound mind.
That's it.
That's it.
Lavelle is underwhelmed.
Well, I think he was
I was expecting
waiting for a whole
yeah.
conversation around it. Listen to that again, Dad.
Okay.
For God did not give us a spirit of fear. Because what is fear? Fear is the opposite of love, right?
Yeah.
Fear is the opposite of having a sound mind. Fear is the opposite of being powerful. For God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and a sound mind. He wants you to be powerful. He wants you to feel love. And he wants you to have a sound mind as you drink Penelope Bourbon, brought to you by. I love that. I love that verse. I don't care what anyone says, because in this country, in this world right now, we need to be powerful men. We need to, at the same time as being powerful, we need to love one another. That doesn't mean we accept everything. That doesn't mean we freaking bow down to everybody's wishes about everything. We can love somebody and still not agree with them, right? And then we have to have a sound mind. If we're gonna have any disagreements with somebody, we need to have a reason behind it, not just spew off, narratives or talking points that we've heard in the news. We need to have a sound mind and understand what it is, the foundation that we stand on. What is it that you stand for and what you're willing to fight for? And then love the other person, even though you might not agree with them, even though you might absolutely 100% disagree on everything that they're for, still love them. And accept that, maybe one day they'll realize how right you were the entire time.
See, that's a tough one.
I'll show you a tough one. Let's start the podcast off right with our video of the week. I love this one. Remember this?
You're playing for Bud Light, ladies.
I distinctly remember saying this was gay back then.
These guys are good. Who are you calling guys? Yeah.
Looks like you're in the finals. Ma'am, for the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
You're the defending ladies pool champion?
Yes, I am.
Well, it's what some people have to do to get accepted to those society groups. So
See how much the world has swayed. Can you imagine them coming out with that video today?
It looked like a very trans-inclusive video to me.
looks
It
like
was very inclusive.
it was ahead of its time.
Yeah. I was gonna say that seems right in line with the Dylan Mulvaney stuff.
It's probably got him jacked up
At least
now.
Dylan Mulvaney doesn't have a beard. Like, I'll give him that.
Oh, he does. He does, bro.
You think-
Has it 100%. It's so bad. It's like really gross.
So you follow?
No, but I've seen enough videos to where like, what is it, 12 o'clock shadow? It's pretty.
I saw those at the beginning of his transition.
No, well,
The question is, what are they transitioning from? Like, if it's not binary, if it's not male and female, then what are they transitioning from, and what are they transitioning to? That's the most simplest question you can ask somebody that is all about this, inclusivity. What are they transitioning from? What are they transitioning to?
I don't know, but I think the hermaphrodite community needs to stand up and speak its mind.
Man, I haven't heard that word in a long time. I haven't heard hermaphrodite in a long time.
What's the percentage of natural born hermaphrodites in the country?
I honestly, at this point, I don't even know what the definition is anymore. What is a hermaphrodite?
I'm sticking to Jamie Lee Curtis being the most notable hermaphrodite.
That's a myth.
It's a myth.
That's a myth.
Which I don't know. I heard that, and then I also heard Sierra, also the Russell Wilson.
What is that? Where you're born with both?
You got both. You got to choose.
Yeah, I knew
Like
that.
there was that
You got to
like,
choose.
there was a quote attributed to Lady Gaga for a while that I only have a little bit of a penis.
Oh,
It's just not true.
I wouldn't doubt that though.
Speaking of little penises, have you been seeing the trans violence happening all around the country? Not the kind that they're talking about on the news.
Oh,
Let's bring up the actual trans violence out there. Happening in our schools. Look at that big freaking dude that is mad at this girl for not accepting. Look at the difference in size.
Yeah. It's too much testosterone right there for that guy. Oh, and he's fighting like a girl. At least he's fighting like a girl.
Yeah, but look at that. I mean,
oh, now there's the guy. Now
Right.
he's the guy. Now he's the guy. He's back to me.
oh yeah. Bring up the next video. Another trans violence video.
Is this in California?
I think
Looks like it.
Texas. Is it? I don't know.
Yo, that dude looked like he should be playing for freaking USC right now. Football.
But all the kids in their videos, they're just taking. Like, teacher comes in. No.
Wow.
That,
They're saying squabble up.
that trans child is bigger than the teacher.
Now he wants to. Oh my God. That's someone's son right there.
Yep. Just beating on a girl. That's someone's son beating on a girl. Multiple girls. Being able to. And I believe a young man does come into the picture here and says, yo, back, you can't do that. And then just craziness. So trans violence is certainly happening in our schools right now. I think that kids are getting fed up. I don't know the whole story here, but I really believe that kids are getting fed up with what is happening. Because not because they hate that person. This is not they're not standing up because they hate the other person. They're standing up because they love themselves more. Like, you love yourself enough to say, I don't want this dude with a penis walking into my safe space and, coming into my area and flopping his
Meat
junk around.
Yeah.
There's a court case out there that just got settled, allegedly. Bring up that court case with the other trans person who was in the YMCA locker rooms.
I remember this.
The judge states that the person was just too fat to be able to showcase their goods in the girls' locker room. So therefore, there was not enough evidence.
I don't believe this.
Look it up. I'm telling you. Look it up.
Like, there's no source on this here. Picture you sent me. That's a tabloid headline.
This
if
is
ever
a-
I've seen one.
What we do on this podcast is we open people's views up to be able to go look for themselves.
Okay.
Look for yourself. Go
I
look it up.
I will.
Go look it up.
Yeah.
Maybe it might be tabloid. Maybe I did enough research and picked the most tabloid, article that they had that showcased the obviously what we should be considered inclusive, beautiful body of this
But you don't think
completely
it's
obese.
possible? You don't think this could
No.
ever happen?
Too fat to expose that doesn't make sense.
Go ahead, Google search it. Go ahead.
I
awesome.
don't want this in my Google history.
It's not. It's gonna be on We the People Podcast Network's
Yeah,
Google
alright, yeah,
history.
So if y'all, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen by now the baddie, right? The like 700-pound baddie, female.
Excuse me.
You have not seen the.
Are you saying baddie as in they're batshit crazy,
She
or
calls
baddie?
herself a baddie. She's a 10, and she was in her Uber crying over the fact that
She's a 10.
she calls herself a 10.
You said 700 pounds, right?
yes, I did.
Metric tons.
Jabba the Hutt. And if
You're not
she
a
was
10.
in,
You're not a 10.
if you were in
Immediately,
Star
you're not a
Wars
10.
and you were Jabba the Hutt,
Is it Jabba the Hutt or Jabba the Hutt?
I thought it was a Hutt or Hun.
Come on.
What? Oh, it's a hut.
Hutt.
Hutt.
Okay.
Hut.
Jabba the Hutt. Yeah. She would be considered a baddie for Jabba the Hutt's.
No, because even Jabba the Hutt was
Yeah.
all into Princess Leia.
He had standards. Yeah.
Yeah, he had
had
standards. He knew.
Oh, so he knew that he.
Yeah, he's like that
Mm.
big boy from John Wick, that fat boy that had the freaking 2 girls around him, and he ended up being like a badass freaking
Which
killer.
one is this? This is
It was
second.
like
the
John
new-
Wick 3 or something like that.
Oh,
I
is
didn't
that,
see there.
is that in the new one?
I don't think it's no, it's not the new one.
Oh.
Oh,
Is the
he
new
was
one's
actually there was a
4?
new one. The new one, he was in
It's
it.
three?
Yeah, yeah.
Three is the newest one, right?
German guy or
The big fat guy
Yeah,
that
yeah.
they ended up fighting in the rain or something like
Yeah,
that. I was like,
yeah,
why
yeah.
is
Hold
this
on,
happening?
hold on. Spoiler alert. Is this 4 or 3?
4. It's a 4.
Yeah.
Oh, dang. I got to catch up.
You haven't seen it yet?
Watch it. Yeah.
Ah, dude, it's dope. It's way better than the Pope's Exorcist.
Movie was great.
It was fucking terrible.
It put it like this. It did a really good job in solidifying the argument for religion.
Sure. Look at him. He's looking at the article right now. He's like, "Holy shit, this is actually true." Look at him. Look at that face.
No, I'm reading it right
That is
now.
the politically correcting podcast might be right face right there that Austin just made.
Mhm.
Give it to us. Yeah, it's true. Speaking of healthy food options, the mayor has come out with Mayor of Rochester, City of Rochester, New York,
We got one?
has come out with a healthy food initiative. Have you seen this? Have you heard of it?
Yes, I have.
So, for those of you out there who has not,
Is that you?
of course?
that was like a Muslim dude from here. Like, is that a bow tie or this just open?
Feel
No tie.
like that might be. Is that racist?
No, it's not
No?
racist.
Oh, okay.
Oh. But you look like you were Nation of Islam right there. From here.
I would say the Nation of Domination from WWF, if anything. So the Healthy Food Initiative, the city taxpayers are going to spend $5 million to invest in food deserts where all of these corporations are leaving because they keep getting robbed every single day. What are your thoughts on investing $5 million into providing healthy food options in areas where Rite Aids are leaving, where Tops have left, where Wegmans left a decade or two ago, probably 2 at this point, ago, more than 2 actually, where these corporations are saying enough is enough, I'm out of here.
Is it ever a good option or idea for the state to take over food?
Oh God.
It's ever a good idea?
Well, maybe then you can get your lobster tail and scrimp.
Well, no, you wouldn't be able to after that point, right? I mean, if you're doing it for the reasons of
It'd be lab created at that point.
yeah, well, within the community, the reason why crime is rampant is because of the systemic racism that has been
Allegedly.
passed on for generation, right? So we've recognized it happened yesterday, but that means there's nothing we can do to stop it today. So we must succumb to the crime. We must allow our businesses to
No, all you have to
Leave.
do is pay the taxes.
no, but
And
no
it'll go
one
away.
no, you can't pay taxes if you don't own anything. So you're not really paying anything. You're just
Well, that's racist because they don't own anything.
I
I say they meaning people who live in the inner city.
well, I don't know how you can call it racist. You know,
Well, that's what they say.
I thought racist was just a label that you placed upon someone that just didn't like a specific group.
No, racism is you believe number one, you don't like that group and you believe your group to be of higher standard than
Right.
theirs.
So you have to be a part of a specific group. You have to be like, you have to claim the race, right? You feel that your
Mhm.
race is superior to
The other
another race.
Right.
That's how you are considered to be racist.
Do you believe that black people can be racist?
Yes, I do.
Okay, because they're saying that you can't.
Well, that again, when you're unfortunately, there's a lot of people who have the opportunity to speak on platforms and be ignorant. They speak with emotion. They speak off of victimization, and they think that if I say or call someone a racist, it makes my viewpoint right.
It works only if you scream it in their face.
Oh yeah.
Got to remember that little tidbit of information. But you see, there's 3 Latinos. I'm not going to say Latinx because I know for a fact not a single one of those people in that picture agreed to that.
Oh really?
Oh no, they don't.
Oh,
I know that.
that word is spreading like hot fire.
Yeah, they're trying to. I mean, there's a large Latino nonprofit in the city that loves to use that Latinx word. I don't subscribe to that. Need to do those 3 right there. I wish that we would open up the parameters of what these small businesses can use that money for. Because if we sit there and say we want to invest in food deserts, they're saying we want to, create healthy food options, right? Because everybody in the hood wants to eat healthy food.
Are you sure about that?
No, that was me being facetious.
Because
You have gas stations with fried chicken
I
in
mean,
it.
how can you not pass the healthy food and go straight to the Arab that got all the food you want?
You got Jamaican beef patties, you got fried chicken,
Oh,
you got
getting eat
steaks,
so
steak
well.
subs, and
That's
you got
where all
Chinese
the food is at in the hood. You're eating more in the hood than you're eating in any part of.
Oh yeah,
the
you go to
country.
suburb. I love when people say that there's more money and more resources in these communities that are in the suburbs, and I look at them, I'm like, where are these? Because I can go in a city and I'll spend 50 cents on a water, and you go to the CVS right across the street and it's $1.50, $2.50.
Bro, do you know how frustrating it is living out in the suburbs and all of the food spots close at like 7:30?
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're like, ah!
Yes, I am familiar with that.
Yeah, so Uber Eats doesn't work right there. You have to, where do you order from? The city.
Mhm.
The city. They're still making steak subs at 10:30.
Oh, they're not stopping.
Bro. One of
That's
the best Arab stores. I will always give them plug. And they're in the Great Northwest.
That's right.
H&A on
H&A?
Dewey. All day long.
Their pizza hits.
They are
Their pizza hits.
phenomenal run store.
They got the substation in the back.
And their operation is
yeah.
amazing. They take care of a lot of people in that mile radius, and they pump out food and they take care of the community. And I don't think good stores like that get enough props or recognition, but they should.
Oh, you're right.
They definitely should.
Should I write a resolution for that?
I think you should.
Okay,
I
cool.
think you should.
Because I had a Boost Mobile store right there next to the fish market on Driving Park.
Oh, so you okay?
So we would either eat at the fish market or at H&A.
Go H&A.
H&A because they had a multitude of different foods, hot foods that was easily readily available
on deck. They got the
fried
pizza
shrimp
slices
next door.
Oh yeah, all day. But they're not there anymore.
No, they're not there anymore.
But when they were there, I mean, these types of small businesses.
And then the liquor store right around the corner.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Was
that
it
one over there?
Giants? Just something like
I
that.
don't know.
But that liquor store has the little bottles of Remy Martin. $23 what it used to be. Now it's like $40.
The Great Northwest has a lot of really, really good establishments over
We
there.
have the best food in the city. I swear to you. Now I get it that when you go to places like Bronca or Bitter Honey or nice joints, you're going to get good food.
Mhm.
I get that part. But why is my camera not
Ooh.
on? But when we're talking about spots where you can grab food quick and it's good,
all day.
we got it.
All day.
Chicken wings, got it.
Mhm.
Subs, got it. Pizza,
Mhm.
got it.
Mm. beef patties,
wraps, got it.
empanadas,
Lobster rolls,
ice
got it.
cream. They got
Ice-
cakes.
Man, we got it all in the
pizzas.
Northwest.
Yeah, and crime.
Stop. See when you go too far. Speaking of crime,
No, our guest said that there was no crime. The crime,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
those
Okay.
crime statistics are a lie.
There's
I
oh
guess.
yeah, that stat
She was
slide.
capping.
Yeah.
But this doesn't lie. Bring up the Kia boys have struck again.
Guys, man.
This is how you got to understand what's happening out there, because people are gonna make up whatever stories. They're gonna say whatever, it's only impacting, certain people who own these vehicles. No, it's not, because these kids, 14, 15, this was a 15-year-old, I believe, that did this right here. They're not stopping because they know this is where we are in society, where people know they can outrun the police just by going like 60 miles an hour. That's all. They could just go 60 miles an hour. If the police feel as though, oh man, something might happen, we need to back off, then they'll back off and just see you later.
Yo, what if you can get fined your child tax credit if your kid that you try and put on your taxes
It's found to
dings-
be a
dings a you have a felony
that's a good idea.
charge, any felony charge that is applied to a youngster,
They won't get felonies though.
well,
That's the problem, is that they've changed the semantics of the
doesn't
words
I
in
don't
the
care
state.
if you get a charge. Doesn't
Misdemeanor.
matter if
Misdemeanor. Let's say misdemeanor.
misdemeanor, any
Because if it's just a
charge.
ticket for jaywalking, we're not going to go ahead. We're
Well,
not
you
gonna
have
count
to
that.
no, you have to apply it on a federal level. So it's not like they're not committing felonies.
But they're not being charged with felonies.
That's where the law enforcement has to try.
No, that's a DA.
well, there we go. Whoever, yes, the DA, the district attorney, they have to find a way to
Mhm.
even just get the charge on these individuals.
They won't charge them if they're under 19 years old. They won't charge them with a felony.
Even conviction charges and convictions are different.
What about dollar amount? How much damage you have done?
Damage. Oh shoot, there you go. But again, you have to find a way to apply it to the federal level. The local level,
Well, it has to
they
be.
won't be the local. So the state, it'll be the state, but the state doesn't give the earned child
Right.
credit.
That's what I'm saying. It has to be federal because
It has
it's
to be
a earning.
federal.
Yeah.
Only way. That's the
You know who
only.
you got to talk to about that? Morelli.
Oh, you think he would listen?
No.
No.
You know he just came out with his
Mm.
remedy to this.
What is the finding Kia?
No, he wants a recall. He wants to force Kia and Hyundai to recall their vehicles.
How?
I probably should have added that on there. It just happened like literally yesterday. He wants Kia and Hyundai to pay money to recall their vehicles to either fix them or replace the vehicles, because young kids are stealing these vehicles and causing crime, damage, hostility, ridiculousness all around our city. He wants Kia and Hyundai to recall the vehicles.
We'll be having electrical, non-man driven vehicles in Rochester fairly soon.
To be very, very clear and very honest here, it seems as though everything they're pushing is forcing us to go towards the
Yeah.
AI, forcing
Yeah.
us to go towards the,
Mhm.
computers are going to take over everything, because once you start allowing people to do things and they do wrong, which is human nature, it's human nature for us to be terrible human beings. We learn how to be good. There's a lot of people out there who just inherently believe you're good at birth. Well, no, you're not, because you don't even know how to share
Right.
when you're a kid.
Well, I was good at birth.
Anyways,
It was always great.
as the boy Chase Howell would say, boy, please.
Well, to what you're saying though,
Shout out to Chase Howell.
everything that hold
Howell?
up, Chase. Got to get
He
up.
ain't
for that.
watching.
No, he ain't watching.
No, he ain't watching.
Oh, he whack.
Shout out to Fred
Um,
though.
Yeah,
Striker.
hey, Fred. Yeah, and he just said he grew up with the family that liquor store, the Junes.
Yep, the
There you
Junes
go.
liquor. Look at him. He definitely grew up in the hood.
Yeah, he knows.
Yeah,
he
he-
knows. It's that Lexington area. But to what we were saying, which I just lost my train of thought.
Morelli?
But no, about what's going on. It does make sense to where, all the fears keeping people like, all right, if I'm afraid to drive or go out
Mhm.
anywhere, I'm just gonna stay home. Right? And I can use, like my mom, for example, she rarely goes out, right? She doesn't want to go into the stores, so she'll do pickup.
Mhm.
She doesn't want to go out to where she leaves her car unattended because
Right.
she's afraid.
She might come out with
She's not come out with no car. And then when you read the news, you watch the news that people getting shot, random shit happens out. The fear keeps people in. So folks are just comfortable staying in the confines of their own home.
Mhm.
That means there's less people on the road.
Mhm.
And then that means it makes it much safer or easier for some sort of AI taxi service to come in and play.
Consolidation
Yeah.
with these big corporations who have the money to bring the services to you or for you to rent instead of own. Why would you own something if you don't even go out there and actually experience the happiness and joy of owning that piece of
Mhm.
equipment or whatever the hell it is? Why would you?
Insurance is about to go up more.
Dude, my homeowner's insurance, God bless Five Star Bank. They called me today while I'm in a city council meeting. And I was like, why is Five Star Bank calling me? Answered it. She said, we're about to pay your homeowner's insurance for your
Mhm.
out of your mortgage. It jumped up significantly. So we just want to make sure that that is correct. And if not, or if it is, we'll give you ample time to go search around for another insurance company or whatever it may be. I said, well, how much did it jump? She's like, well, now it's $1,200 something. And I know my homeowner's insurance before was like $800.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, yeah, it was $794.
Mm.
My homeowner's insurance has jumped up 50%
Because of it.
and I live in a good community.
Mm.
I live in a good neighborhood where there's no homeowners loss. No one's breaking into houses in my neighborhood.
There's no hurricanes that come over there.
There's no hurricanes. There's no floods.
No floods?
Nope.
You're pretty high up the ground.
Yeah, we overlook the river.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
You're in a good spot.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. No one's breaking into our vehicles. I've left my garage door open many times. No one's ever taken. No one's taken anything out of there.
You haven't had any claims.
Never had a claim. Nothing.
Get with it or move out. It is what it is, man.
Yeah. Let's see. That's a 50% increase. That's $40 a month. That's an increase of $30 a month, right? It's not very much. People will say, well, it's not very much. Okay. You don't think that's very much? When my entire mortgage payment, I'll tell everybody, my entire mortgage payment is $760. Everything included.
It's pretty good.
Everything included. Yeah, I bought it at the right time. My value has.
It's going crazy.
Oh, it's going crazy.
It's
amazing. I love it.
So wonderful.
I got a
house right now.
I got a HELOC within 3 years. Who gets a home equity line of credit within 3 years of owning their home?
In Rochester.
Rochester, I've started 2 businesses
in Rochester
off of the equity I've gotten out of my house.
That's why it's a great place to buy.
Own your home, but if you own an insurance company, let me know. I will definitely have you run my whatever it is that you got to run, because I'm not paying $100 a month for insurance when I was paying at that point $67 before.
Would you put that insurance company out there?
No, I won't.
No.
I'm not a vindictive person like that, because I know that insurance companies are getting hit hard.
Yeah,
that's what people aren't realizing.
Shout out to my home insurance company.
Who's that?
Well, they ain't
paying you. Shut up.
Discount double check.
Okay, so I have companies in my district who are losing insurance because of the zip code they're in.
Jeez.
Businesses in my district.
Well, why would they do that to the businesses?
Sorry?
Why would they do that to the businesses?
Because of everything that happened within the past 3 years.
Oh, the smash and grabs.
The smash and grabs, the riots. Everything is added up. But people don't realize insurance is the most socialist thing about our country.
Yeah.
When people are getting robbed, when vehicles are getting stolen, when they're getting crashed into stores and the stores are getting looted, when stores are getting burnt down, when product is going missing, because we all get hit with that. All of us get hit with that.
Can I throw my little conspiracy theory out with all this stuff?
Be more specific with your claims.
Oh, ambiguous statements. I don't know what that was about.
Tell me, comment in there what the ambiguous statement you're claiming is, and then I'll respond to it.
Yeah, is that Tierra? Tierra.
That is Tierra. Shout out to Tierra. Thank you for joining us.
So yeah, back to what I was saying. My conspiracy theory. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
I think a lot of the crime is financed and organized.
Top left button. No. No. Not that one.
The other one?
Top left.
That is the top left.
No, that one.
Allegedly.
Yes.
That doesn't stop YouTube. YouTube has blocked us a couple times. Continue.
Oh, you're okay. Have you seen the annual salary of the people in your district? I'm in regard to your insurance statement.
But that doesn't mean anything.
That has
My
nothing-
salary
that
increasing or decreasing has nothing to do
has
with my
absolutely
insurance.
nothing to do with the insurance. Not at all, especially homeowners insurance. But anyway, I think that these people are not from here.
The protesters.
Not just the protesters. I think the criminals.
Oh, you're going deeper.
I'm going deeper.
I can tell you exactly what's happening in our system to why we have increased criminality. But continue with yours, and then I'll give you mine.
Well, good, because I will say, when I was being nosy during the BLM organized riots,
The Summer of Love.
oh, if that's what you want to call love, but I tell you, I almost was in the middle of crossfires from owners of a Arabian store on Bay.
Is
who-
Arabian okay to say?
yeah, that's what they are.
Okay. You started with Arab, then you went to
Arab.
Arab,
I'm
and
trying
now
to be
you're
more politically
Arabian.
correct, but hey, like I said,
It was
My
called
guy-
Arabian Nights.
my
on-
guys at H&A, they
Hey,
love me.
Shout
So
out.
we
Shout out. Do we have?
you know what I'm saying? we got understanding. These guys were in it could have been a rental, but I highly doubt it. But I see these kids, these dudes, they were trying to break into a store. This is when all the riots was all over the place. Everybody's rioting.
Yep.
So they're trying to break into the store. They didn't know.
They were knocking hard.
No, they were trying to
Oh,
break
gotcha.
and
Okay.
pull
I
up
was trying
the
to-
actual,
Break into the actual store.
yeah, break the store. They couldn't get it open, but they didn't know that the owners was across the street, living right across the street, taking a look at, keeping an eye on their property. And I'm telling you, I'm looking at the whole thing. It was like in slow mo. I see the kids trying to break in, and then I see the owner coming out with the gun, literally pulling out. And once they saw him,
Uh-huh.
they ran. So I looked, followed them to their car, just looking, watching this shit. And I noticed Massachusetts license plates on the car. I'm like, why are they here?
They weren't paper license plates?
No,
Have
they
you
were.
seen that?
Yeah, I seen that. I remember that craze was going on.
Yep.
That
Last
was
year.
a big,
Last
huge
year.
problem. Yeah. And I was like, yo, why are all these old fake ass license plates all over
Right.
the place? That was a huge problem. But anyway, they pulled off into their, their
Maryland
car.
license plate. A lot of Maryland license plates.
Yeah, there was a lot of out of state
a lot
license
of
plates.
Texas
and-
out of nowhere. I was like, what the hell's
Yeah,
going on
who's
here?
all around here?
Uh-huh.
Crazy. But, again, stuff like that, you notice to me, when my tinfoil hat or my, spider senses get the tingling,
Uh-huh.
like, this crime doesn't seem too,
It seems too
common.
organized.
Yes, too organized.
Too
and
organized.
all over the country, in each city, they have these same problems, smash and grabs. Like, all right, wait a minute. The whole smash and grab thing is so corny. And
Which one? When it was 2020 or when it was today?
even down to today.
So all of them.
Yeah,
are corny.
all of them are
Okay.
corny, because if you think about it, how far are you going to get away with? All right, you go to AT&T, and still a whole set of phones that you'll never be able to turn on.
Yeah, they'll block them.
They'll block them.
No, you can sell them to China. China
And
will
there's,
unlock them.
there's no real hurt or harm to the company, but it just looks like it's a problem.
What do you mean?
They got insurance for that.
No, see, that's what they were saying before. And as we just discussed, insurance jumps up.
Yes, but I'm talking about an AT&T, a variety, like they go
A
into
corporate
these stores,
store?
a corporate store.
I still can't get behind that, dude. You still
That's fine. But what I'm saying, the organization for the corporate companies would rather this happen. So number one, The only place you can go to get a phone is online. You're going to talk
Okay.
to some AI, some artificial intelligence, anything.
Okay.
And it's only going to be able to get shipped to you. Why? Because the corporations or the corporate companies don't want to keep spending insurance money or want to keep spending money when they can't stop this uncontrollable problem of smash and grab,
Uh-huh.
right? So Amazon has let every big corporation know, I don't need bodies. They
No.
don't. Like everybody's out there penny pitching and fighting for equality within job market, equality within whatever is out there that's available. It is not, and then you vilify capitalism at the same time. You say, hey, capitalism, create jobs for everybody, but you're bad because you don't create enough jobs for everybody.
No, that's why they're all behind the minimum wage increase.
Yeah, but
Yeah, keep raising it.
yeah,
keep
raising,
raising. Keep raising.
and you're not paying attention to the play that the
Right.
corporate companies want you to do that so
Mhm.
that they can justify killing one person.
Self checkout.
Oh, self checkout all day. I was having a conversation with a good friend of the show's.
Not killing one person, killing one job.
Yeah, one job. But people would rather go through that route versus, you know,
Depends on how many things I have in my cart.
no, but still, it's like the manpower is so, you know, like undependable. People don't. First of all, people don't want to work,
Nope.
and then you got people that want to steal.
Yep.
So if for the corporations, the big companies, like, yo, I'm losing money.
Big corporations aren't saying that. Big corporations are saying yes, please,
Yes,
because
keep
you know what
going-
that's
keep
going to kill?
doing it.
It's
Yeah.
going to kill the small businesses.
Yeah,
And as soon as it kills the small businesses, guess who comes in and saves the day?
big corporations.
Big corporations with their nice
Oh, you
AI.
got you want a union? Yeah, how about a union of 3 people? All right, no problem. I'll pay how much you guys want.
Right.
How much you guys want a year? Aren't you getting paid 40,000? I'll give you 50. We're just gonna fire everybody else. Then you're gonna do the job of everybody else.
Yeah.
You just gotta press this button every 5
Yeah,
minutes.
fix the machine.
Fix it.
Fix
There
the
you go.
machine that just killed off 12 of your jobs.
No problem.
Austin looked like he want to say something over there.
No, that all adds up to me. I don't know.
It says it does. You said corporations are what does it say? Refraining from opening up in Jose's district, my district, when for theft, but the people in this district are under the poverty line.
That's not an excuse. Like just because of your current situation or your condition does not give you the right to steal and cause any type of chaos because of your poverty situation.
Nothing gives you that right.
Nothing gives you that right. But what we're saying is,
You steal out of fear.
yeah, you still out of fear. But what we're saying is the corporations are feeding into that. It gives them an excuse to consolidate, decrease jobs because they got to save money, right? They're not. You look at the corporations that are employing people who are impoverished or people who don't have the skills to go out into another level within the job market, right? It's
So low level skilled employment. Low skilled employment.
low skill employment,
Right.
right? So you have more McDonald's, you have more Burger Kings, you have more Wendy's. Let's start with the big stores.
Big corporations.
Big corporations. You got Taco Bell, and they're not just doing it in the city, they're doing also in the suburbs also, right? But you're going to find less in the city where you're going to have, just look at the Taco Bell now that they built.
When I'm in the Northwest,
Yeah, the
On
one
Lake
that is
Avenue?
built on Lake Ave. It looks like a box to where
it's tiny.
it's real tiny.
Yeah.
So eventually you won't need
They're not gonna need people in there.
operating.
I already, as soon as I saw it built, I'm like, that little structure right there is going to house the same amount of people as the one over in Gates that is
Yeah.
line out the door. And then immediately I'm like, they're not gonna be worried about employment.
No.
It's all gonna be technologized. It's whatever the hell. it was.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And, thank you. And it's gonna be disseminated with a computer arm. Here you go. And you'll never have an issue. Like every single time. This is why I don't go to McDonald's on Lake Avenue. I don't go to Popeyes on Lake Avenue. I'm not going there. You know why? Number one, I automatically assume it's dirty because of YouTube videos that they've shown before where cockroaches like walking across the line. Number two, they always mess up my order when I had the shop over on Driving Park. Always mess up my order. Oh, also Wendy's is over there too. And number three, they're just going to be done with everybody. There's no reason for them.
There's no
That's why they're picking up all this real estate. And you're saying, oh, they're investing in our community. That's fantastic. They're not doing that for you.
No, they're not doing it.
They're not doing that for you. They're
No.
doing it because they know they're going to take over that small mom and pop shop that's been selling Jamaican beef patties for freaking years.
Yep.
And when those Arabs can't find people to work there anymore, and their family, because it's mostly all family, are tired of getting freaking robbed every day, because I get the calls, you don't get the calls, you don't get the calls, Austin doesn't get the calls, I get the calls saying, I'm tired of people robbing me every single day. I'm calling the cops and cops aren't showing up. I have video evidence of it. Cops don't care.
Yeah.
They're going to be tired of it. They're going to be done. I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm out of here. So H&A Deli.
And you know,
Who knows how long they're
what's
gonna last?
sad, right? With the overall argument against capitalism, right? They try and vilify capitalism within just the whole argument coming from the far left African American Black Lives Matter believers. You vilify capitalism, but yet at the same time, you want more Black business owners and you want more, you know, minorities who are owning and running business. Well, it's hard to do that where, number one, like you're saying, the insurance to run a business, right? Whatever type of service you want to provide, whether it could be selling clothes, how are you going to be able to compete with selling clothes
when $150 of every month is going straight to insurance?
It's going to insurance,
not
to
including
start.
rent, RG&E.
Yes, the expenses.
The
what
amount
it
you have
takes.
to pay somebody to work there every freaking hour.
Unless you're creating shirts that, like, I know, once you put it on, it makes you look like a 6-foot guy, makes him look like he's 6'6". Like if it's some extraordinary.
When you're 5'2".
Oh, I mean, what, six even? Maybe, like,
maybe,
you know, however way it enhances yourself, and you're selling this clothing like out of, like, you're making Walmart look bad in, you know, their ability to sell clothing.
Well, you have to fight them in a way that you're not competing against that. You don't want to compete against Walmart, and you don't want to compete against, you know, Amazon. You have to compete in a spectrum where there is no competition. Meaning that's why all these sneaker places are doing well in a city, as well as, you know, out Marketplace Mall. It's because they're competing in an arena where it's like, well, we know you have sneakers. We know you want to make some money off those sneakers. Bring them to us. We'll consign them. We'll sell them for you. So sneakers that you bought for $160 brand new, you knew they're going to be worth $500 in the future. Come to us. We'll sell them for you, and we'll give you $400. We'll make $100 off of it.
But why are they vilifying that though? Why are they making it seem as though if you are a capitalist, right, then you are a small business owner?
Because they're jumping off the white liberal mentality. The white liberal mentality is exactly that. Not fully understanding that goes completely against what the Black Panthers were all about, which was we own everything and we sell to our own people. I'm not against that at all. FUBU?
No.
FUBU? Remember what FUBU was all about?
You're creating a service for a market that you understand,
right?
That you get, but yet
that are gonna buy from you because they know it's you.
But bro, who's the #1 sellers to the Black community?
The white man.
Gucci,
Tommy
Prada,
Hilfiger,
Balenciaga, and they're straight up telling you that they're like using kids,
right?
As,
and you're still buying it.
Yeah,
and you're still buying it.
Yeah.
Supreme.
Wait, whoa. These corporations are strategically placed in poor areas, more traffic. So what? Like that means who? All right. You as a business person, whatever strategy that you come up, however way you get to where you want to be successful, that's part of, you know, competing. They're competing, but the unfortunate part of their ability to compete, they are also controlling the other things that's happening.
Well, there's a second topic, or I'm sorry, a second comment to that, which says there's more wealth out there. Anyways, yes, there are. So why place businesses in the poor with such high risk, including theft? Because they're consolidating.
That's what they want.
Right. They're going to take over these other businesses that are not really well ran, and they're counting on their friends and family to work for them. And these corporations like, well, we'll wait it out.
McDonald's was still selling burgers during the riots.
Scroll down. I can't see that third one.
Right. McDonald's was still selling burgers during the riots.
No. Let's go back further. McDonald's was still selling burgers during COVID.
Yeah. All day long.
COVID.
All day
you
long.
Can't piss me off any worse than when I was sitting in line at the fast food line, and I'm sitting there saying, I can come here and I can order a disgusting, slimy burger, but I can't go to 809
Yeah.
and get my Latino food with a nice freaking margarita because they don't have a drive-through. That's all.
That's pretty obvious that whose side
They
that they're on.
consolidated the world so
Yeah.
quickly during COVID. It was disgusting what they did. Don't get me started with freaking COVID. Dude. You said who cares about COVID? I still fucking care about COVID.
Mhm,
You know, this
mhm.
diabolical laugh over there. I
Mhm.
still care about COVID. Don't ever forget what they did to you.
The vid.
Right.
Yeah.
They forced you to shut down if you were in the city. If you were within city limits, you were forced to shut down. Shalat was still open.
They destroyed
Shalat was
families.
still open.
The families, the
Ironically, it was
family
still open.
problem was very big. A lot of families were fractured.
Do you think that that's why they came out with the what do you call it? The math that they did some weird shit with it, the Common Core math, in order to drive the difference and say your parents don't know what they're talking about, and here's
Oh yeah, that's
one
the first
example.
place. Mom doesn't know how. Mom or dad doesn't understand my homework.
Yeah, they're not up to current times. They don't even know what core math is, common
Yeah.
math is.
I felt so bad for my son when I was thrown to the trenches during the lockdowns, right?
Yeah.
So second grade, I just couldn't understand why he just didn't get the
6 times 9.
no, not just it was just basic like the addition part of it, like 3 + 4 = 7.
Yeah.
But yet he's like waiting to see how it's 3 + 4
Yeah, just
=
know
7.
it. You're supposed to just know
you're
it.
just supposed to know. You start there, and then when you get into the 10s and 20s, it's
No.
repetition.
See, isn't that? But you hear yourself saying that. You're supposed to just know that.
Yeah.
Let's go to multiplication tables because that was my son was at that age. Multiplication tables. I'm like, you're supposed to just know that 5 times 9 is 45. Anything times 9 is going to end with a 5, bro. Pretty much for the same. Or not, I shouldn't end with a 5, but it's like take that number times it, and it's like -1, and it's like that. Like times 6 is 54. You should just know what it is. And he couldn't grasp it. And to me, it was like, that's crazy. Like you have to think so hard. And now it's like they're making them think hard about basic things.
Basic things, yeah.
What were the norms for us, which were the basic building blocks of our education, which was just know what it is. But is that wrong too? The fact that we never questioned it?
It is if you were that parent that didn't question. I questioned it from the very beginning, right?
Okay.
And just my overall experience with dealing with. So my youngest daughter, she was in kindergarten when Common Core rolled out initially. It's first time. She was the first student. Thank God my daughter is like an A+ student all the way through, but she's an A+ student because she understood. She figured out the system.
Yeah.
Right. So
she got you as a
really
dad.
good. Yeah. My daughter's she's going to be a go-getter. She's about that money. But my son, like,
how old
just
was he?
holding
How old is
fingers.
he now, and how old was he when COVID hit in 2020?
So he was.
Well, how old is he now?
He's 11. So he
Okay.
was in the second
mine's
grade.
3.
So
8.
he was like,
He was 8 years old.
yeah, just holding fingers up. I said, okay, listen, son, look, I have 3 here and I have 4 here. Count them.
Remember
Right?
the videos from COVID? Like the TikTok videos, like just
Yeah, it was
parents
so
were getting mad at
hard.
the kids, and I'm like, I get it.
It
Like,
was
I get
it was very frustrating,
Right.
but again, that's how that divide happens within the family. Like
Yeah.
all of a sudden, dad is a tyrant because his son and they're not communicating, they don't understand. But it's like you're holding up fingers, like, okay, son, look, count 3. I have 3 and I have 4. Right? How many? Count it. And he goes to 7. Like, so 3 + 4 = what? Then there's a pause.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And it was it was so bad because again, you need them to understand that. Then when you can add more, like, okay, so 13 + 10, it's the same thing. So 3 + 0 = what? And the people who finance that, though, you know what I mean?
Common Core.
The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. A lot of the stuff that we see are financed by these philanthropic whatever.
Our vocabulary is on
These
point tonight.
It's about as good as your math. Yeah.
Yeah, I know,
you
right?
wanna know why
Right,
it's on
exactly. But these philanthropic organizations,
Uh-huh.
they are pretty much the reason for all of this, this social crap that we got going on right now.
Mhm.
It's their ideas. It comes from them. It starts from them, and this is the results. Our kids are dumb. They know how to TikTok and steal cars.
So are they dumb done?
They're dumbed down.
Okay.
They're dumbed down, but I'm pretty sure that they are just as intelligent as any other human that has come, within the face of the earth. I don't think that any generation is just superior than the other.
No,
as
because
far as-
we're constantly evolving, so you can't
Yeah.
be.
we can't be, but by design, they set it up to where they found a way to create that disconnect. And
I do think the last couple years with just the way schools were really just destroyed kids' ability to think. Every Tuesday I help my niece study geometry. She was failing her 10th grade geometry. So, but man,
Do you recall geometry?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I thought geometry-
Hypotenuse.
Yeah, exactly.
I had a hard time with geometry.
Oh, see, I thought geometry was easiest. It's shapes.
Mine was algebra. Algebra's tough.
Rules,
Algebra? Yeah, me too.
It's just memorizing what the rule, hypotenuse, a squared plus b squared equals c squared.
Right.
You just got to remember that and then
Yeah, simple.
apply it. And so that's
Or just
but,
buy a calculator that does it for you.
well, you have the thing with geometry is you have to know what to plug in.
Yeah, true.
You have to know what formula. You have to know that a squared plus b squared equals c squared in order to plug in the a and the b. Anyway, so getting that through, she just has no concept of basic addition, subtraction.
That's so tough.
Multiplication, division. Which I don't know. I've gotten her. She's passing.
Okay.
She's got like a
Well,
66.
that's better than before.
It's so tough.
Yeah. But
We're not passing Tiara's level of competency here.
No, she thought that
She's
was
on a-
very
So
inarticulate.
cops
breakdown
don't
of
care
math.
and not showing up, but you want to fund them more. Well, they're not showing up because we don't have enough police to even show up. So anything.
Yeah,
I've been to the roll call for police in the Northwest District, and every time I showed up, we have technically 4 different ones, but they took one away, and now there's only 3 of them. And so there's 3 roll calls, and I show up, and there's literally 11 people, maybe 8 to 11 people for the entire Northwest. We're talking from Beach Avenue to 490. 7 people, 8 people, maybe 9.
People talk a good game until they are placed in this situation where they got to secure shit. When you are responsible for securing things, and that's your job, and that's your livelihood, and that's
When there's gunshots and you have to run towards,
you got to run towards the
gunshots,
situation.
That's different.
It's all we can Monday morning quarterback all we want. If I was mayor, no lie, I would increase the police force across
all
the
day.
board.
She did
I would
say
agree.
and co-host.
Yeah. I would increase the police force. Yes, give us more money. I damn sure would.
County?
I would dissolve the police accountability board. That's a
Immediately?
sign. Yeah, absolutely. That's a sign of communism when you have these bureaucratic branches of government that gets created, and you put people in a position that are just considered smart, but what gives you the qualifications to hold police accountable?
Well, she said inarticulate breakdown of math.
How is that?
That's the PAB, in my opinion.
I agree.
Does she agree?
100%.
Let's find out. Monroe County has invested in more sheriffs.
I saw that. That is very conservative for Bello.
Are you going to give your boy some props here?
That is great. The thing about the one thing about Monroe County though is they got a lot more investing to do because they gutted it anyway. So you're kind of
so you just bring
restoring it to where it was before.
Right.
But they got a lot more work to do. He's finally listening because the county, they do they're more responsible for the surrounding suburban areas mostly.
Yeah, but that's not supposed to be accurate though.
No, but they figured, the city,
the city pays the majority of their funds.
They don't care.
I know they don't care. What I'm saying is the only thing that would make it equitable,
good one,
would be if you took away RPD and just made it Monroe County Sheriffs.
You wouldn't want that.
You don't think so?
No, you gotta have them. You gotta have them separate. You gotta have them
Why?
separate because you have the city and then you also have the actual county itself.
Okay, and
And I mean, why would you want to have the county is just the not separate from actual city itself?
That's I'm asking you why you wouldn't. How you gonna turn around and ask me why I wouldn't?
Because you have these separate branches of within government.
No. That's not
Yes,
separate
you
branch of
do.
government.
Yes.
It's the freaking.
That's the county. The county is responsible for all of the surrounding suburbs.
No, it's not.
Yes, they are.
No, it's accountable for Monroe County.
Yeah, Monroe County, but I'm
Right.
talking about the suburbs itself.
No, it's not. They are not the police force of Irondequoit Police. Irondequoit Police is Irondequoit Police.
But they will
Brighton Police is
support.
Brighton Police.
They will support.
So why would they
those-
support RPD then?
I don't know. That's a
Right.
good question.
They
I have
will.
no
I know
idea
they
why
will
don't
because
do
I
that.
talked to them. They will.
But
They
why?
say, but they have to be requested.
So it could be the city. It could be the city union is not.
I have a really good relationship with Sheriff Baxter, really good one.
Mm.
And I've asked him. I said, "Look, I need your help with Lyle Avenue, Lake Avenue,
Mhm.
Dewey Avenue, and at the beach." I'm like, I just need the perimeter of my district with your help.
I do remember back when the
I
sheriff
missed
used to
this
run. I was going to give the
Uh-huh.
county props though. They used to run through the city though
They
before,
do. They still do.
but not as much as they did back in the day.
You want to know why? Because back in 2020, he said, "I'm not going in there unless you guys ask me to
Mm.
come in here." If the community, the community has to say, "We want you in here." So I had to get the community associations to write a letter saying, "We want our Monroe County sheriffs to come in here
Patrolling.
and help."
Now here's the thing though, because I do know before, the county did have some overzealous sheriffs out there doing a little extra work than they what they were supposed to.
Illegal extra work or punching people
Well,
extra work?
no, there was a lot of that. There was a lot of injustices going on. I think
Okay.
a lot of
Is,
profiling.
is there ever a time when you would be okay with stop and frisk?
If and only if,
Mhm.
if and only if it's a part of an investigation. If it's a tactic, if it's something that you're using strategically over a known suspect.
Okay.
One thing I'm not, and I will never, ever, ever do, I am not going to give a criminal, no matter what color they are,
Mhm.
right? This leverage within the law when they know that they are actively
They're doing
breaking
something
it.
wrong.
Yes, they're actively breaking it.
Okay.
So even if you're using this as a tactic to, yo, what you doing, blah blah blah, whatever, you have to have a reason to stop though. Period. Regardless of anything, what I'm doing behind the scenes,
Okay.
you have to have probable cause to stop me.
Yeah, I do not disagree with that. I don't disagree. So let me premise that before Tierra goes off on me here. I do not disagree with that. At the same time, they know who the people are in the city who are part of organizations who are doing wrong, right? So if you see somebody coming out of a house that is a known fentanyl distributor and they come out with a package, right? This is the problem. What we're having right now is that they're fighting in New York State to stop police from being able to preemptively stop somebody. So it has to be like they broke a law, an actual law, not like their rear, their turn signal was off or they didn't turn it on when it took a right. They have to have a legitimate reason that's further above than what basic shit is. That's where I have an issue because I know that if you are investigating an entire house and you know that's a drug house and the community knows it's a drug house and everyone's been calling it in saying people are in and out every single day. We see them coming out with packages. We see them actually doing the drugs in front of. We see them, giving money back and forth. And the police see somebody get out of there. They see them with the package. They see them with a gun on their side. They see them get into a vehicle and they know that person is not legally allowed to, have a gun, and they're around going into a vehicle with 5 other people in it. Stop their asses.
But,
Stop 'em.
But to that point, though, this is why our judicial system is the best within the world.
Go ahead.
It's like you create the slippery slope.
Right. I know it's a slippery slope.
You don't want
I
that.
know it is.
You do not want that.
What
Because
don't I want though?
you don't want that slippery slope to happen, because the government is going to see that all they need is just that one time.
They already have it.
No, they just that one time to where
Okay.
the lack of probable cause was there,
and
and that they were able to get a conviction. Because once that happens, that case, that situation is going to get used as a precedence, and the federal government is going to use that for anything. We already can't go outside without freaking a Big Brother camera every single where. It's everywhere you go.
well, people are asking for that.
Yeah, and that's what they want. That's what they want.
Mm-hmm.
So that we give away our freedoms, our rights, just to feel secure, just to feel safe, just to feel, comfortable within our own surroundings.
Right. You're giving up freedoms in order for
Yes,
security.
But the more crime and problems that they have out there, to where, hey, all right, hey, just give us this one.
I see where you're going with
Yeah.
it. I see where you're going with it. But at the same time, it's like, how do you battle the nonsense? Like, because
You become better investigators. You become better at what you do.
but you have to gather evidence. And when people are not willing to give you the evidence because they're saying, well, snitches are bitches, as they get snitches or stitches and they get fucking dead in the corner of the street, or their family's house gets shot up. Like, if no one's willing to give you the evidence that you need in order to do your job,
You become better. You become better investigators.
no, you know what happens? You rely on the community to do your job for you at that point.
No, or you just make friends with your enemies. You find a way to employ the former convicts
I'm not
that
against
know
that.
you know what I mean? You're
I'm not
gonna have
against that.
you can't beat them. You definitely got to put some of them on
right, I'm
payroll
not
in
against
order to
that.
get yourself. You have to find, because at the end of the day, when they go into prison, there's a whole
I didn't even go into
nother hierarchy of rules within that.
I didn't even get into that part. So you want to know? I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna give you the inside information on why Rochester is a hub of illegal activity. So back in 2018, I believe it was, it was kind of like the start of when people were pretty much able to get away with anything, and New York State was changing with the laws in terms of how they can hold you. It wasn't quite there yet as like in 2021, 2022, but it was going that route. In prison, people were literally talking about how Rochester was a gold mine for illegal activity. They were saying how you could sell drugs in this city and get away with it scot-free. I cannot state whether it was or has anything to do with, Lovely Warren and her husband, but people were getting away with a lot of things with complete disregard for, they aren't going to stop us. They're not going to do anything about it. So in prison, they tell them that it's a gold mine. And in prison, they're all, on top of each other, essentially. So a bunch of them...
Pause.
I
was sitting on top of each other.
Oh, so they all hear about Rochester being gold mine. And then during COVID, they release everybody out into wherever they needed to go, because they didn't tell the family members, hey, in 2 months, we're going to release your child who killed somebody. No, what it was, hey, tomorrow, come get your kid, because we have to release your kid because of COVID. After he just did whatever in the world that they did. Rochester is seen as a gold mine for illegal activities. We are becoming the Detroit of the Eastern Coast. I guarantee you 100% people know they can come here and do illegal activities and get away with everything.
Yeah, that's kind of it's not really uplifting, Jose.
Well, I mean, it's national as well, because the Biden family was also in the news. They can get away with anything as well if their last name is Biden, right? they claim that this is a Republican thing. This is political, right? They claim this is a Republican thing, that they're looking into the fact that there has been money exchange between nefarious countries and the Biden family, right? The title says Comer, who is the Republican, James Comer from Kentucky. I'll be there actually in a couple weeks to renew on my Penelope bourbon. Comer releases Biden family probe update without showing link to president. All right, you hear that part. Without showing link to president. It says the oversight panel chair revealed Wednesday that Biden family members, that was today, Biden family members, business associates, or related companies received more than $10 million from companies run by foreign nationals. Foreign nationals. Let's look at the names of the people who got paid, right? So they came up with it. Hunter Biden, number one. Of course, we all know that. James Biden, Sarah Biden, Haley Biden, Kathleen Biden, Melissa Biden, the niece and nephew, also another niece and nephew, and the grandchild of Biden. If the entire family is getting paid by some nefarious organization or country, if this were past, this would be an issue. We know that. We know. Look, the reason why we're doing this 6 o'clock thing is because past President Donald Trump is going to be on at 8 o'clock. And I'm not going to lie. I want to see it.
Good. And that's on CNN too.
Right. It's on CNN.
CNN.
And it's a pretty relatively newer person that's going to be like the commentator person.
That's why they fired Don Lemon, number one.
Donnie Limo.
I think CNN's like, you know what? We see an opening here. Fox is falling. They just fired Tucker. Let's kind of see if we can, there's more people that's turning conservative more than ever.
Do you think that they're trying to like fit that middle ground?
Bro, they first of all, this is all right. Here's my
so that's
thing.
a no, I guess.
Yeah. First of all, the Trump thing. Here's my theory with Trump, right?
Mhm.
Like, he's part of the show. Honestly, in my opinion, he's part of the show. And
What do you mean part of the show? Explain that.
Well, he has to consolidate a group of the folks that the corporate media, the corporate world deem as the enemies.
Well, there has to be a heel. It's like WWF.
Yes, the heel, right?
There has to be a face and there has to be a heel.
So if you can get into a database, folks that is going to tune in and listen to Trump, you already know who's not going to watch. The majority.
I don't know. I think that everybody now is going to watch.
The people who hate Trump, if you say Trump name, they literally turn into like I don't know. They go crazy.
They were up in arms about the fact that CNN was the one who was going to be showing this. They were literally upset that CNN was going to have a town hall with a presidential nominee.
Yeah.
Also a past president. Why would you be upset that CNN, a news organization, was going to host a presidential town hall?
Because they watch CNN.
They watch,
and for 4 years, Trump
put it
was
aside. Put it aside. You have to
they
understand.
can't do that.
but
Why?
I think
It's
Why?
they're conditioned.
yeah, the people who watch CNN specifically were conditioned for 4
Specifically.
years.
You can't say that about CNN watchers.
Do
Yes,
you
I can.
think Fox
There
is
might
going
be people watching CNN
all
that
right,
watch
put it like
us.
this. Do you think Fox will have Biden on there and have the
Yes,
same
100%.
and the folks
I guarantee Fox would have them on there.
if Fox
Also,
do it
but hold
now,
on,
they will have zero. Like the people who watch Fox will boycott that so bad.
They should boycott them anyways. Right now, why are you
They
watching?
should.
Why is anyone watching Fox News? After
Fox
they
should
got
be
rid
done.
of Tucker
Yeah,
Carlson,
they should be done.
I'm sorry. I know that there's a ton of people that hate Tucker Carlson, and the
They
ones
should
that
be done.
hate him love them some Biden. Guess what? They fucked
Yeah,
Tucker Carlson.
they did.
They didn't fire him.
He
They
about to do
fire
some
him.
damage on Twitter though.
They canceled his show and said, "No, we just don't want you talking."
But he about to do his thing on Twitter though.
Yeah, he is. He's gonna come on Twitter.
But I'll say this about the reason why I fucks with the whole Trump thing, right? It's
Tell us
because
why you fucks with Trump
I
thing.
fucks with the Trump thing because it's anti the other side.
Yeah,
It's
we're-
anti everything. So I'm going to ride because what Trump is going to say he's going to give the truth.
Well, you can't say that.
No,
He's going to give an alternative side to.
He's going to give
the
you
narrative.
the truth that they know that the narrative is going to
You
reject.
can't say it's the truth though.
Yeah, bro.
You can't say it's the truth.
From all right. So this is again tinfoil hat. Go back on again.
Go ahead.
When it was Obama's time,
It was the truth,
yes,
right? Without
question. But he knew
Uh-huh.
that once his ass was going to get elected, all he had to do was hide the lies with the truth that he gave within his campaign. You give him a couple things, give him a couple. Yeah,
He didn't have to hide anything.
Oh, bro.
The media did it for him.
Yeah, but he hid it within when he went up there and he gave his speeches and he gave his my administration. He had to look all he had to do was look presidential.
Not with that gray suit he had it at one time.
Oh no, that was terrible. No, it was tan. It was tan.
It was
yes,
tan?
no one has ever wore a
okay.
tan suit since that day.
Oh man, it imploded the internet.
Yeah, but Trump is saying everything that we want to hear.
But there's shit that's happening with Trump. Number one, upstate New York case. That's they just limited his ability to talk about what's happening. You see that right there? The case he's facing in New York State, where they're saying that he kind of lied about his tax returns and therefore he lied about his presidential campaign finances. Look, that's gonna be a hard freaking line to draw there, because if you can't, this is where I get livid about politics. If you can't draw the line between the number of Biden family members who received income from foreign countries, and you're saying, well, there's no connection to President Biden. Okay, fine, cool.
He's the big guy, though.
Cool. But if you're going to say that the Trump company paid off this prostitute, who you really can't say prostitute. Well, she got paid. So yeah, prostitute.
Yep.
And therefore it was a campaign.
Anything wrong with it. Yo, you want to sell your body? Sell
expenditure. And so therefore he didn't put it in his campaign expenditure list. So therefore he should have never been able to run for president. How do you draw this line, but not this line?
Was he in Vegas?
That's hypocrisy.
Was he in Vegas?
No, he wasn't.
Oh.
The hypocrisy is just over the freaking edge. It is so far beyond the edge. The hypocrisy is so ridiculous. It's so bad. And then not only this is not the only Trump case that he's involved with. Right? Did you hear about the one where they found him guilty of, was it like sexual assault or something like that?
Yeah. Yo, let me ask you this question, Jose, because you're a Democrat.
Continue.
It's a good question.
Continue.
And be honest.
Continue.
Do you think that the Republicans have the majority of the critical thinkers than the Democrats?
I believe that the Independent Party does.
Can I answer?
No, I didn't put the Independent Party in because
matter.
I'm pretty sure the Independent Party does have a lot of critical. But the question again.
No, the question should be: do more Republicans have independent thinkers versus Democrats?
Yes.
Here locally or in the country?
Overall country.
Overall country. Dude,
you would have a comfortable beer with a Republican today than you would a Democrat.
I can tell you without even second guessing or without a smidgen of a doubt that I would much rather have a beer and or shot with a Republican than a Democrat.
It's so obvious. It's an obvious one.
I don't even know how to put it.
I feel
any
bad.
safer than that.
But it used to be that way back when Obama won.
When he had a beer,
Obama,
yeah.
like, yo, the first like rollout of Obama
playing basketball outside.
Yo, I was like, yo, this dude is that dude, man. How
Right.
could you not like ride with this? But that's the propaganda.
That he was softening the blow.
Oh man, they were good.
Pull up the other one, the sexual abuse case. That's what it was. E. Jean Carroll. It was a sexual abuse case. Now, I am not, first of all, before anyone goes fucking off the edge here, sexual abuse is wrong. And so is rape. Anyone who rapes a woman should, I'm not even sure they should die. They should get their dick cut off and then stuck up their backside.
But what if they save a life?
How can you rape somebody?
Dave Chappelle said he rapes, but he saves lives. So Bill Cosby and all the bad stuff he did,
Uh-huh.
all of the good things he did as Bill Cosby,
No, so
it doesn't outweigh the bad? No?
no,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
In the Politico article, it says the jury deliberated for 3 hours. Not 3 days, not 3 weeks. 3 hours. This was a rape case. A rape case. They said that this woman claimed that she was raped in a not a Bloomingdale store, but whatever the store was. It was like in the mall or something like that. And he basically took her into the dressing room and raped her. A rape case. The jury took 3 hours. That's it, 3 hours.
They had
And-
to weigh out the evidence, man.
Not only that, the jury found we have to read. Everyone has to read the articles because you have to look at these things. I highlighted it for everybody here. The jury found that Carol, the female, the actual female, did not prove by a preponderance of the evidence that Trump raped her.
How many years ago was this?
1996. Does that matter to you?
That matters. That matters.
You
bro.
think do you really think 27 years matters?
Bro, that matters. As a woman, that matters a whole lot. A whole lot. Because if it was a guy that got raped by his priest, you know what I'm saying? You would, after 30 years, you would have never known about it. Never. This right here, first of all, especially Donald Trump. If a woman is taking a man to court for child support, raping her, bro, especially if he knows you're wealthy, because in 1996, Donald Trump had a lot of money.
It was a Bergdorf Goodman dressing room.
Hey, can I just put it out there? You keep
No, you
saying
can't.
the word rape. He
Yeah.
was not found guilty on rape.
I literally said that. I said the jury found that Carol did not prove by preponderance of the evidence
okay,
that Trump raped her.
okay,
yes,
it's
but-
not, you keep using like
So if
Right.
it wasn't
so I want to make sure that
rape,
people
though,
understand that.
if
Yeah.
it wasn't
He was
rape,
not
what
found
was
guilty
it?
of rape. But the news
Okay.
would say all day long, this is victory for women. This is why.
Yeah.
Blah, blah.
But that's why I thought it was
They found
bullshit.
he wasn't raped.
Yeah, why was
next-
rape even a charge?
The next question. That was the only charge.
why would you wait 30 years after that to charge somebody for rape?
The next thing the jury did, but the jury did find him liable for sexual abuse and for defamation. The defamation count arose from a statement Trump made last year in which he called Carol's allegation a hoax. The woman said, I filed this lawsuit against Donald Trump to clear my name and to get my life back after 27 years. I added that part in after 27 years. Carol said in a statement after the verdict, today the world finally knows the truth. What truth what truth did we learn today about Donald Trump and this Carol, whatever the hell, at the Bergdorf Good? What truth did we learn today? That's the question. What truth did we learn today?
That
You could sue anybody with millions of dollars and get it
Yes.
27
You're
years
gonna get-
later.
But see, Donald Trump went on record though, is saying he told this to Michael Jackson because he was really good friends with Michael Jackson. He said, Michael, listen, you got a lot of money.
Mhm.
He said, just pay them off.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck?
You know, that was
Paid him
Michael
off.
Jackson's biggest regret was paying off that one
Mhm.
trial he went to. And he said, just pay him off. That was his biggest regret.
Yep.
And that's what sent him down the path,
Mhm.
because the next one he fought and he won. Michael Jackson was never found guilty for any of those
None of that.
allegations. And they never found any of the evidence to say that he was guilty of those evidence. But they came out. I'm a Michael Jackson fan, so I'm biased.
Yep. They
Michael
came
Jackson,
after him
but
after
they
he bought
kept
the
coming at-
Beatles, after he bought the rights to his own money.
Coming at him.
You went up against Sony, and the rest of Michael Jackson's story is history.
The rest of this story, though, is that Carol said today to finally the world knows the truth. Again, I don't know what the truth is. The victory is not just for me, but for every woman who has suffered because she was not believed. This doesn't say that they believed her that she was raped. This court case does not say that. This is not me saying I'm defending Trump. Again, Trump is a douchebag. He's a dirtbag. He might have done that. I have no idea. But I would think as a multimillionaire, you don't really need to rape somebody in a Bergdorf Goodman dressing room.
Do you see her? His wife currently.
That doesn't matter.
No,
No, that doesn't matter because I hate that excuse. I hate that excuse.
No. I'm gonna say that
the
because
same person that was with J Lo, she keeps getting divorced. Nobody wants to be with J Lo. You know why?
Ben Affleck does, obviously.
No, he doesn't.
He back with her again. He went back
was
to the
forced
well
to be.
again.
He was forced to be because she was going to tell everybody he had a small.
Oh no. Don't
Said
do
I
that.
filed this lawsuit against Donald Trump to clear my name and to get my life back. Today, finally, okay. Her lawyer, Roberta Kaplan, said the verdict was a triumph for Carol as well as for democracy itself.
Oh God.
She said, no one is above the law, not even a former president of the United States. In a social media post Tuesday, Trump called the verdict a disgrace. He added, a continuation of the greatest witch hunt of all time. Do you believe that there is a witch hunt against Donald J. Trump?
Is it obvious? Isn't it obvious?
I think it's pretty obvious.
mean,
I
at this
can't.
point.
Austin, you're the resident liberal. Do you think there's a witch hunt against Donald J. Trump?
I mean, currently, I guess. Ever, sure.
Okay, so sure. What about currently?
I mean, I think it's in a lull.
Well, now that you heard that,
I think we'll see how it goes after tonight.
now that you heard that case and the effects of that case and the outcome of that case,
Yeah.
do you think he raped her?
No. Well, I don't know. Probably not.
Well, the court that
Right.
The
He was
jurors said
found-
no.
Right. So yeah, but then again, juries and but just because they're found innocent by a jury of their peers, we're just supposed to believe they're innocent.
no,
now?
I agree with that, but at the same time, the question still remains: do you think that after 27 years, she got justice for women everywhere?
No.
It's a huge
I-
victory.
As
I
a
think-
woman, anyone out there,
I
put
think
it into your comments there. If you're a woman out there, do you believe that this is a victory for women everywhere?
I think the fact that we're
That's all I
having
know.
this conversation at all proves that it's too contentious to be a declarative victory.
We also are very close to an election season. It is 2024 coming up very soon. So this looks kind of similar to what they did back in the, I don't know, anytime they want to just
The past
topple
30 years.
Yeah. They want to topple a country. You rig an election or you eliminate your competition.
So let's get into the conspiracy theory before we lose track of time, because we do want to end so that anyone out there that who wants to see the Donald Trump CNN thing, look, again, I am perplexed by the fact that CNN actually is okay with airing this and doing it solely on their own and bringing in a relatively newer person to narrate the entire thing. I have no idea what to say about that. So I want to see it. So we're going to jump into conspiracy theories so that we give our audience a chance to watch what is happening. The Legitimaquois rabbit hole. That's the LGBTQIA plus folks.
The legitimate qua.
Legitimaquois rabbit hole. Why do you think companies are going so woke so fast?
Why?
Yeah.
Because they are invested to do so.
What do you mean?
Well, the money that finances their companies comes from their lenders. So if their lenders are telling them, we want you to do this X, Y, and Z for whatever reason, right? Their lenders are the reason why anything happens. So who are we talking about right now?
Well, that's really good insights. Austin looks like he wants to say something.
So I have a different theory.
Yeah, but you're wrong.
Okay.
Continue.
Okay. I don't know that it's entire. I mean, I'm sure that's part of it.
I'm about to actually go into evidence of why he's actually right.
I'm sure.
But go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'm sure that's part of it. I'm not saying
That's-
it's not. I'm just saying
Why else would it
There's
be a
al-
conspiracy theory?
there's also like just the idea of bringing in younger people, because and I think it's a misread. I think what they're doing is they're looking at social media
Okay.
where the younger people are, right? and all they're seeing is this political activism everywhere because that's what
Uh-huh.
social media is.
Yes.
And they think it's indicative of a wider sentiment
Okay.
Mhm.
amongst younger people,
Uh-huh.
and so that's why they're going woke. Because they're like, oh, we gotta.
Yeah,
gotta
but you're
bring in
not
this
on
younger-
social media.
No, I'm 30. I'm not that young.
Okay.
And also, I'm an old man at heart. You know,
You just said the same thing twice, but go ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, but I think my point is that they're
Pandering,
pandering
Mm.
to what they believe to be the younger,
the new
demographic.
age. Yeah, I mean, they
Um,
did say that at
I
Bud
agree.
Light that they had to appeal to a younger demographic.
Right, and that was the idea behind that.
Yeah, But
They're just creating a whole new voting demographic.
there's a whole younger demographic that's all about Andrew Tate. So why didn't they appeal to them?
It's easier it's easier to pander to a group that you've already manipulated ever since they picked up the Kindle back in the day.
Kendall Jenner?
No, the Kindle
Fire.
Yes, the Kindle Fire.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Most people would have just said iPad, but I like that you
iPad.
called it
He
the
went
Amazon.
right
I would
into
think
it,
his
yeah.
brand.
Amazon brand.
Right.
I mean, they have faster than what Apple did within their control over the minds. It all starts with these electronic devices that have been placed in our kids' hands ever since, we thought it was cute. Because think about it. The only way the minds have been influenced more than anybody has been off of this device, this electronic device.
It's a this is the epitome of propaganda, is that you're persistent and consistent with it.
You're consistent with
It's like the drip. Just this right here doesn't phase anybody with the water drops.
it.
But when you do it for 3 days straight, you drive someone crazy.
Case in point, folks who have Apple devices.
Yeah,
I
they're
was a-
crazy.
I was on a rabbit hole.
Mhm.
I saw a video where anyone who owns an Apple cell phone
It's that-
device,
It's that Penelope.
it
It takes a picture of your face
It takes
every
a picture of your face
Yeah.
every like 5 or
Yep.
10 seconds. It's an infrared shot. You don't see,
Yep.
but if you have an infrared camera, you just focus on someone who has an iPhone, it's flashing a picture. It's taking your picture every time. It's an infrared flash. Now you don't see anything happening to your mind, your brain,
Nope,
your
because it's
eye.
infrared.
Infrared.
Go out to your Ring camera and just stand in front of it with your iPhone in front of you. Don't let the light come on or anything like that, and just watch it take pictures of your face every like 5 to 10 seconds.
And you don't think the CIA has done any type of research
No,
on
of course
that?
not.
Like, how can you
No,
like mind control is the number one thing the government wants.
they're gonna know about this. Anyone that has an iPhone is going to literally know about this right now. My wife will know about this right now, and she'll be like, "Yeah,
That's okay. It's fine.
Yeah.
Never leaving my iPhone.
nope, never gonna do it. Never gonna leave it."
Can't go without FaceTime.
Back to Legitimaquah. At stake is their corporate equity index.
Mm.
That article you see there. Now, this is a what they term a CEI. It is a social credit score. Is essentially what it is. It's overseen by the Human Rights Campaign. So there's a corporate equity or equality index, right? It's overseen by another nonprofit, which is the Human Rights Campaign. It's the largest Legitimaquah political lobbying group in the world. So how can a company make it on the best places to work for a Legitimaquah equality list? Well, in the article, the next article, what was that other one that we had there? The Human Rights Campaign.
You keep calling them Legitimaquah.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Human Rights Campaign sets new standard for best places to work for Legitimaquah equality. That's now NBC News. That one. We got too many articles going at the same time here.
You can do virtual chat. You can do virtual anything. Go on Instagram. Go on TikTok.
What are you talking
go on
about?
Whatever.
What are you talking
Places to work, man. Like,
about? Oh.
be a fucking weirdo and make money off yourself.
Quote unquote, companies earning this distinction must have a 100 on the CEI and will need to be bar setters for how companies can do even more, from taking a stand in the public square against elected officials harming Legitimaquah youth, to make mitigating the harm of their products and services on our community. Importantly, to receive this award, they will need to be nominated by their workers. So to receive the Legitimaquah Best Place to Work, you have to be nominated by the workers, right? To be nominated by the workers and to receive the Legitimaquah standard for Best Place to Work, you have to rank high on the Corporate Equality Index. Not just rank high, you have to rank higher than a 100. Higher than 100.
Bro, this is crazy.
If you go to hrc.org, the website hrc.org, it will actually give you exactly what their criteria is to supersede that 100 score. And you will be blown away, absolutely blown away by how it's not just equality that they want. It's superiority.
They don't want that shit.
No, they want superiority.
Yeah.
Flat out. Look it up yourself. Again, we had to prove Austin wrong earlier in the podcast. hrc.org. Look up Corporate Equality Index criteria. Look at how they are not just giving equal rights. They require you to go above and beyond in order to be on their list. Now, like you stated, to be on that list means that you're likely bound to get investments, right? So who is funding the Human Rights Coalition? Who's funding the HRC? That was the other article that you had in before.
I'm pretty sure Bill and Melinda Gates is in there. The Rockefeller Foundation, Soros Foundation.
What's the first name right there? Open Society Foundation.
That's Soros.
Soros and Open Society Foundations give $100 million to Human Rights Watch. This was, mind you, this was September 6, 2010 that they gave $100 million to them. That was the latest article I could find about them giving them money, because ever since then, the Open Society Foundation refused to say anything about Human Rights Watch and donation. They would not state, because it was $100 million over 10 years. So this was 13 years ago. They refused to say anything else because they want to allegedly distance George Soros and the Open Society Foundation from.
And isn't that
Human
a
rights.
tax write-off?
Yes, of course.
Oh, okay. But why isn't anybody from Black Lives Matter ever attacking anybody like him who uses these
The corporate, the dirty capitalist?
Yeah, no one ever talks about
The dirty white
no
capitalist?
one within Black Lives Matter ever attacks this guy.
Because he sides with the Legitimaquah. And when you side with,
Or does he pay their salaries?
what's the difference?
There's a huge difference.
When you side with them and you pay their salary,
That means you work for. Oh, I think I just answered my own question.
yes, sir. This is not us making it up. That's not even. It's honestly not even a conspiracy theory.
Wouldn't you be upset though if you weren't getting paid from Black Lives Matter? Like everybody that sit up there that calls themselves an activist, if you're not getting a check of at least $100,000 a year,
You think that's appropriate to be a protester?
oh, to do the shit that they do,
$100,000 a year. That's it.
fuck yeah, that's a really tough job.
ESG is on the investment side. So you got the CEI side, which is this random freaking corporation that comes around saying, hey, you need to, level up to this level to be CEI certified, top 100 best companies to work. And then you got the investors with all the money in the world, BlackRock, who will sit there and say, we're not investing in you unless you have a high CEI index for the Legitimaquah folks. And then ESG is above and that's next level. That's inclusive of the Legitimaquah. That's inclusive of the CEI. It's all the money is in that. That's why you can sit there and say, well, everyone is behind this. Yes, you're absolutely right. Everyone is behind that. So when companies decide to come out with their own razors because Gillette has decided to say the best a man can get, we're going to take away the word man. It's the best a person can get now. Because anyone can grow a beard, right? Well, true. Actually, that is I've seen women with beards.
Yeah.
It's a sad world where money rules everything, right? And this is exactly what used to be the oh man, what was that back in the day when they were camping outside of Wall Street?
Oh, Occupy Wall Street.
Thank you. Occupy Wall Street was maybe the best chance that the left had. I say left, not the far left. The left had at pushing towards we can do better, right? But then they took that and turned it into the far left.
Yeah, what we got right now.
Right. And it was not, no. We don't want to, go against the top 1% and saying, hey, you need to pay your employees better. No. We want you to not just embrace the legitimate quad, but we want you to also tell the entire world that you embrace and uplift and will pay legitimate quad folks millions of dollars to just put a can in front of a camera and showcase that they support you and you support them.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the legitimate quad financing.
Are you jumping on board?
Yeah, it has come from a lot of the philanthropic,
full-on rapist,
right? Full-on rapist organizations such as the Gates Foundation, the Soros Foundation, and let's not forget Warren Buffett, because Warren Buffett is also one of those guys. These are the top investors in this country. Period.
Stryker just saw one of the Occupy Wall Street founders went to the WEF.
Yeah, there's no question that
Economic Forum.
A lot of the people who created Occupy Wall Street, I think that was the first pilot for that group.
Yeah.
Let's create a group that's going to get a whole bunch of, like, we're going to give them the truth.
Give the hippies a bunch of...
Yeah, we're going to give them the truth, but we're also going to be in control of the whole entire operation.
But I was with it. I was Occupy Wall Street. I was not against it.
But that Occupy Wall Street is what got Obama into office.
I can't...
It did, because it was so much easier for Obama to piggyback off of the vilifying of the banks. If you really wanted to, if Occupy Wall Street was really legit, it would have continued Occupy Wall Street. It would have never ended, because let's face it, when we look at history, we look at our Federal Reserve, we look at how finances have been controlled and manipulated ever since Jekyll Island went into their little meeting, right? Ever since
Damn, you went back.
Oh, went back. Island. But ever since that happened, though, the ability for big banks to swallow smaller banks, control the cash flow of money. That's why they call it banks, right? They are they are in control of the flow of money. The people who controls the money controls everything else that operates underneath that money. The only reason why you got that job is because your employer, your owner, got a loan from somebody else to be able to pay your ass each month. The money that you are getting is not coming out of your employer's pocket. It's not coming off of the profit. That shit is coming off of debt. Period. Point blank.
That's the best income to have. Is that?
But as to be employed underneath that system.
Yeah, no. You're paying employees.
You're paying
that
you're paying employees with that debt.
It's an expense,
yes.
And you can claim. You don't have to claim that as income when it's debt.
Yes, when it's debt, exactly. So you are pretty much a slave amongst the slave master, your employer.
There's the banks, and then there's the employer, and then there's you.
But
like, you're literally,
if Occupy Wall Street was legit, they would have continued.
Yeah, well, that's why Ron Paul couldn't win. Ron Paul was preaching the truth back
Audit
in the
the Fed.
It doesn't matter. It wouldn't even matter. It wouldn't even matter.
That was a start, though.
That was a start, and no one took him seriously. It was like, oh, I don't know, like a little
old man.
Yeah,
they called him racist.
Of course they did.
They called him. They said Ron Paul was a racist.
That's you guys gotta stop with that nonsense.
Do you remember how they organized a coup on Ron Paul? They sent out a bunch of pamphlets. And during his one of his campaigns in Texas, they sent out a pamphlet saying that Ron Paul was racist. He was racist and he was spitting racist rhetoric.
Sure, it wasn't Rand Paul?
No, it was Ron Paul. And they said it came from his campaign. They said it came from his campaign, that he was sending out pamphlets to people saying that he would deny black people some bullshit. Right? That's the only ding they had on Ron Paul.
If you got proof of that, please show it to me because I
There isn't.
really
He was
don't.
like-
I don't have anything against Ron Paul
Because
I think
Ron
he was
Paul
probably one of the
stated,
best.
he was like, I never seen that come from my campaign. I had no idea where that came from.
Mm.
But just think, bro. Just think. They knew that Ron Paul was spitting
Federal
fire.
Reserve. He was against Federal Reserve
All
and he was
day.
against income tax,
He was the only threat. He was the only threat in
Right.
Congress.
but he just could not be electable. That's the problem.
He was electable. It's just that he was going up against the machine,
The Democratic Party.
the Democratic and the Republican Party.
Yeah.
There was no way he was going to beat George
Oh
Bush.
yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're right.
There's no way. They already knew what they needed Bush for,
It's both sides. We can't sit there and say that they don't own both sides.
bro. He voted no on everything. But I guarantee you, there's a whole lot of other Republicans that voted yes. He voted no on the Iraq war
He should
because
make-
he knew it was up.
He should make a comeback. Can you imagine him going up against Mr. Yeah, I shouldn't say Mr. Former President Donald Trump and
Oh.
current President
They don't
Joe
want
Biden?
none of that. They don't want none of that. Oh,
Well, we got to make
listen.
sure we end because we got to make sure that people have enough time to get their popcorn ready, their drinks ready for the next show, which is CNN hosting former President Donald J. Trump. I still think I'm still blown away at the fact that they're doing this. They got some heat for it. They got a lot of heat for it, but I can't wait to watch it. I'm not gonna lie. I can't wait to watch what they're gonna say, what the questions they're gonna ask, how they're gonna push him, how they're gonna hold him accountable. I want to see what he's going to say and how he's gonna react as a how old is he now? 79-year-old man.
He's gonna call
Yeah,
out
I think so.
CNN. He's gonna like, there's a reason why you guys have me here. You guys ratings in the tank.
Uh-huh.
And he don't throw shots at CNN.
Right.
Oh,
I can't wait. I'm gonna go watch it right now. Well, we
Facts.
appreciate you on this earlier version. Let's see if we're gonna stick with this. We'll see. I mean, what do you guys think about keeping it at 6 o'clock versus the second? It's 7 o'clock. We'll see what people think.
I'm cool with going out and seeing the sun still.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Hey, my camera's
We'll
off.
see. Yeah.
So you know what? Don't even worry about it.
It's all. It's
Austin,
up to
hit that
Austin.
funky music. Go ahead. Let's go watch what
It's
CNN
all
is
on
gonna
the
do with
man, the
Donald
myth, the
Trump.
legend.